Mm. Okay. Hi, everybody. Mary Beth Olive here. I am the new regional director for the Upstate New York region. Excited, excited. Woo woo. And I am here today to talk to one of our leaders, Allí, Drihmi, who is stationed out of today. She's in Latham, New York, but she wears a few hats in our organization. And I would love for her to give us a bit of her story. But the purpose of today is to discuss some leadership opportunities that we find inside of our organization. Myself, I've been a team leader for 15 years now. Stepping into a regional role is it makes sense. And of course, there was 20 years before that. So let's hear from Allí. Allí, if you wouldn't mind, just give us a little bit of who you are, a little bit of your backgrounds. Like I said, you're in Latham, but talk a bit about the two market centers that you're part of.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I've been part of the Keller Williams ecosystem for 8 years, and it's looked really different over those 8 years. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about what those
Yeah.
opportunities look like for me and how it's changed my world. I started in Binghamton, New York, as a team leader. My OP at that time, Carrie Weiss, inspired me to leave a full-time position totally outside of real estate. I did have a real estate license. I sold part-time. But I
Okay.
never really was a full-blown real estate agent. I sold maybe 20 houses in my career over about 18 months. And I met Carrie Weiss, and she inspired me to understand what the opportunity in Keller Williams could be, especially as it related to being in leadership. So 8 years ago, I started in Binghamton as a team leader, and we had 38 agents at the time.
Yeah.
And in the 6.5 years that I ran that market center, we grew it to 80 agents. It's a relatively small board. We
Sure.
only have about 350 producing agents in that board. So we made a pretty big impact in a short amount of time. So that was a fun path.
Yeah,
And
well, time out for a second because you made a
yeah,
couple of comments there. Number one is you said, well, you only sold about 20 houses in the first 18 months. Now, that's pretty good. I mean, for most people, 20 houses in the first 18 months, that would be a launching pad for what's next inside of the sales team. And it's interesting that then, I'm sure Carrie recognized the success in that as well and thought this girl might be up for the next level opportunity. If she can do that, what else could she accomplish? So there
yeah,
was
I
some
think
success there.
I think for me, so like I said, I was part-time when I was doing that. I had a full-time corporate job at the time in the oil and gas industry, something totally different. And
And
I
I love
never
that.
knew, I never really knew real estate to be something that you could go start a business in. To me, I grew up thinking of realtors as, my mom's friends who were putzing around town, selling some houses, looking great. Like that's what a real estate agent was to me. And I was working at my corporate world was a little bit muddy. There was a lot of layoffs happening. So I got my real estate license to protect myself so I'd have some kind of income. And then my plan was to go back to law school. So I never really had real aspirations to build a big real estate business because I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't
Sure.
know that there was a world where I could build something huge and have a really big impact. And to me, that's all I really wanted to do is have impact and build something that I could be really proud of and build
Wow.
something that was create a legacy for my family. And so to me, that's what the team leader role represented. It was being able to go impact people and build a legacy. And Carrie created that vision for me that I jumped in all in.
So tell me, I mean, building the impact, and I love that you identified what was really important to you, not necessarily the title, because sometimes, and I love that you came from a different field. We're
Mhm.
seeing that in the real estate industry.
Yeah.
This is my 22nd year in the business. And as you said, when I first got in the business, the ideal agent was definitely different than who the ideal agent is today,
Yeah.
succeeding and getting in the business.
Mhm.
And yet there's a place for every type of agent. For the reason you get into the business, there's an opportunity. And so as that changed, it's interesting. You came from a different field, you had the job, you really were supplementing it with this real estate thing. Now you realize, oh wait, there's a business behind it,
Mhm.
and you could probably take some knowledge even from your past and bring it into the world of now running the leadership team. So most people say, "Oh, team leader, what is that?" So what did I'm sure Carrie was very very clear on what that looked like, and yet like tell me what it actually was, right? Like what do you do? What did you see it as, and what is your impact into the market and with the agents?
So I think the reason why I had success in the role and continue to is I look at the team leader role as running a really large business.
Right.
And when we see it that way, when we look at it as an opportunity to own it, own the results of it, own the experiences that people have within it,
Hmm.
and own the growth of it, then all of the components become really clear, right? We grow our people, we grow the company. And we
Right.
do that through creating great experiences and a whole lot of value.
The old Zig Ziglar, help people get what they want and you'll get what you want, right?
Nicely. Yep.
It is really
I'll never
what our
forget the day that the first time that I was talking to Carrie on a coaching call one day, an OP call, and she says to me something about the value that we're giving. And I referred to the agents at our company as my agents. And it was the first time I had done that to her. And she goes, you took it. You own the company. You own the results.
yeah, I love it. And you own the results, good or bad, right?
Mhm.
As a leader, we own the results, good or bad. And when I I would guess to say, like me, when things don't go well, we have to look at ourselves as where did I go wrong? Where, as my husband actually says, where's my DNA on that? Right?
Mhm.
He's actually adopted that language because I say it so much. Where's my DNA on that?
Mhm. Yeah.
And because as a team leader, not only are you doing all of that and impacting the agents, you're running a big business, you also have a leadership team that you develop. People
Mhm.
that come into your world that you realize as a team leader, in order for me to grow this business to where it can go, I am not the best at X,
Mhm.
Y, Z. And so, we have positions. And so talk to me a little bit about those other roles and maybe not specifically, but who do we lean on and what are other leaders that come into our world? Or if somebody's out there listening and thinking that, hey, what, sales aren't just for me, what part of the business could they possibly be in?
Yeah, I think that our leadership teams are they're a rounded group of people, right? So just like you were saying, if we can't be all things to all people all the time, and every person has strengths and every person has weaknesses. And as you build out a leadership team, what that team has to be is a rounded out version of all kinds of people and all kinds of skills. If I hire a whole bunch of people like me, then I'm going to have a whole lot of gaps in my business,
Yeah.
right?
Your
And
paperwork might not be in.
yeah. So what's
Right?
really cool about that is no matter who you are, no matter what gives you energy, no matter how you like to support other people, there's probably something within our leadership teams that would sing with you because we need people who are analytical. We need people who are going to slow us down and we need people who are going to run and we need people who are going to drive. If you have a care for others, what we call in the Keller Williams world, servant leadership, and you have an ability to learn and to grow and be coachable and all of those things, then there's probably a role in the Keller Williams leadership that would give you energy.
Yes. And we have a great tool for that, right? We use a Keller personality assessment, and anybody who is out there inside of our organization or not, and you hear this message and you're like, well, I'd like to see where I fit in the real estate world, we can actually issue a link. It's called there's an assessment, Keller personality assessment, and we'll get to see what kind of match, like what you match up to, where are your strengths inside of this world. So and I also love that I'm sure Carrie didn't meet you and just hire you. We
No.
go through a process and it's called career visioning.
Oh yeah.
And with career visioning, how many hours did you get to meet with the wonderful, beautiful Miss Carrie before we were presented an offer?
I mean, I think it was
Like,
probably at least 5 meetings over 3 months to the point
oh,
where if you're familiar with the disc profile, I'm a high D, I move quickly. And I was ready to say no, then I was ready to say yes, and then I was just frustrated it was taking so long and I was like, I'm done. and, and the reality is that process of slowing down and going through what the role entailed, Carrie and I getting to know each other, making sure that Carrie felt I was going to be someone that like not only was going to work in the role, but the role was going to give me energy.
yeah,
And that process is what set me up for success. And I don't think that there's a lot of companies out there that really slow down in that fashion. And when I'm doing that with other candidates for positions, it's really interesting because when we let them know that this process is not about me hiring you and making sure that you're going to be good for me, it's also about, is this going to be good for you? Are we
right,
good for you? Is this a good
yeah,
match? Are you going to be happy? And how many companies out there do that?
right. Not many, not many. And it goes full circle because that's what we train our agents when they're hiring their teams and as they're developing their businesses, they use the same process. So we're just modeling for our agents and our top business owners inside of our organization how they should be. And we used to call it recruit and select, right? Because you're putting you're casting the net wide to say, here's what I'm looking for. Here's the leader we're looking for on our team, and become a candidate. And then we'll take you through the process, just like the funnel of listings, leads, and all that. It's a funnel of talent.
Mhm.
And we are looking for more and more talent. So if you are out there, I mean, honestly, anywhere we can connect you with leaders that are all throughout the world inside of our organization, but specifically in the upstate New York region, if you are looking for an opportunity to be a leader, whether it be in the space of team leader or marketing, or maybe it's assistant team leader. An assistant team leader is somebody that's going to really show a lot of love for the agents, while the team leader can go out and consult with our top and meet with top people that have not yet come into our worlds. Somebody's at home, like making sure that our agents are taken care of. And there's assistant team leaders, and then there's one other position that I absolutely love on the team, and you have a fantastic one over there in your market center. I'm talking about, Dayton, right? So the productivity coach position, what about that? Because I've seen that role be a very attractive to people and very, very profitable. And it could
Yeah,
be the
so
road that leads you to become a team leader as well.
it really is a little mini team leader, because the reality is when I was at a small market center, the team leader was the PC coach, and that's how I built the company.
Right.
And the PC coach, the productivity coach, and in our world, we call it the accelerator, is how we usher people into the business and how are we setting up new licensees for success. So you get
Right.
to be their person. You get to be the person who inspires them, who trains them, who helps them through when things get rough. We all know real estate transactions aren't always pretty. You get to be their support system through that. You get to push them when they're maybe to a little outside of their comfort zone, so they achieve something that they really want to in this career. And that role, succeeding through others, that role allows you to really learn how to lead people, how to
Yeah.
inspire people, and how to coach people. And if you're looking to kind of work your way up through the ranks in Keller Williams leadership, there's no better place to do that, because
Yeah.
the productivity coaching role is it's getting in it with our associates from day one. And when
It's
you can
so
help other
rewarding.
people succeed and that shows
Yeah.
up, opportunities will show up.
I love that. And we have plenty of opportunity in that productivity world because there's all sorts of levels of coaching that we can offer our associates when the right talent shows up. New agent coaching, top agent coaching, team building coaching. So I love that you said that. It's like a mini team leader. Now, just to wrap it up a bit, I wanted to talk to you about what are the next level opportunities that came from being a team leader, and what skills are transferable to that new position, where you see yourself applying the things that you learned as a team leader into the next role that you've now had the opportunity to take.
Yeah. So for me, the team leader role has been the launching pad that it's meant to be. I'm really grateful for the role. And like I said, I spent about 6.5 years in our Binghamton Market Center. About 4 years into it, I earned ownership into the company.
That's
So
amazing.
I had an OP who believed in me and created an opportunity for me. So I earned myself a part of the investor group there. And as of about a year ago, I moved into the operating principal role in that market center. So what that means is now I am the voice of the investor group. So it's kind of the next step up
That's
after a
great.
team. Simultaneously, Carrie and Mark again created an opportunity for me to come and be the team leader here of their office in Latham, New York, KW platform. So this is an opportunity to lead about 400 agents, team associates. So it's a beautiful opportunity that I get to impact a whole new set of people. And
Bigger.
in that
Yeah,
process, I get to create an opportunity that I had for someone else in the Binghamton market.
that's
And then we're
right.
taking that a step further, and we're merging our franchises at Binghamton to with our Elmira Corning neighbors. So we're merging two Keller Williams franchises together to have a bigger impact there. So we're pretty excited.
And some of that, and that, congratulations on that. It's excellent. And some of those towns also go up into the Ithaca market as
Yes.
well. And so, that is an area that we are specifically looking for leaders. I
There
mean,
are.
listen, we're always looking for leaders because we are looking to grow bench as well. You're going to see in our region, we roll out a leadership academy that I am excited to bring and impact our people and empower our leadership teams, because as you're growing, like you said, you now have the gift of giving that same opportunity to somebody else. And most people that step into, they say, well, why would you step into a team leader role? I mean, you can go make $1 million out there and sell real estate. And I think you answered it, is if your big why, if your fulfillment bucket is met by impacting others, it is truly a way to impact all of those business owners that can all do the $1 million businesses. And then exponentially, you're impacting people.
Mhm.
And sometimes we have to let go of things. Well, not sometimes, we always have to open our hands and to receive, right? So we have to let go in order to receive. And although, that might be hard for some people, stepping up to the next level is always, it's not only you're giving yourself the opportunity, you're also bringing it to your family. And
So I mentioned that when Carrie and I were going through the career visioning process to initially hire me, it was several months. It ended with her bringing me to our national conference family reunion. And it was in
nice.
Las Vegas that year. And Gary Keller was on stage at one point, and I have no idea the context in which he said it. I just remember the words that he said that impacted me. And these were, you have to give up to go up. And in the moment that I heard that, I decided to take the role.
That
When I
is
took the
awesome.
role, I had a pay cut. I had all the things. Like,
Yeah, all
I had
that.
a whole bunch of uncertainty, and my
Well,
husband,
I
I
said
think, thought I was
it
insane.
wasn't going to come to you in like a pretty box, like the Tiffany box with the bow and the,
It came in
no?
a crumpled up, stamped on UPS box that I had to go repackage. And the beauty of it is,
Yeah, it
while I
usually does.
repackaged it, it was mine, right? I
That's right.
repackaged it in the way that felt authentic to me and felt authentic to the people I was serving.
I love it. And so sometimes the opportunity that we're looking for doesn't it's in disguise. Like it, you would have never known that was the opportunity that was coming. And then all of a sudden, right, relocating, having this opportunity to be the team leader, and then all of a sudden, fast forward 6 years later, you have equity, you have another opportunity, a bigger opportunity, and you have the opportunity to now do it again with and give it to other people.
Yes.
I just love that. I want to thank you for your story. I want to thank you for sharing. We hope that we've inspired some people to jump on the leadership path with us. And we would love to invite you that if you just listened to this and said there's some pieces of it that I think I'd like to have that conversation, consultation, there is nothing wrong with just getting your KPA validated by one of us.
Yeah.
So we have amazing local leaders, amazing local OPs and team leaders that can meet with you, and myself included. I'm available as well. So my email is molive@kw.com. And that would be the easiest way to reach out to us is, find us on our social, or if you just want to shoot me an email, it's molive@kw.com. And Allie, I thank you for this time. And I look forward to seeing you again. Seeing
Thank
you
you
again
so
to
much. It's been
check in to
fun.
see how the OP journey is going. And when you find that team leader, we want to get that team leader on here and see how their first 90 days are.
I can't wait for that day.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.